Yeah, let's go to North Queensland. Strength and love to everyone who is dealing with things, particularly around Townsville. It does go a little higher, it does go a little lower, it does go further inland. I'll have more to say about that in a moment. As you can see, the images coming from the area, it is incredibly difficult. You can see what was and what is right now. You can see the types of things that people are responding to, and they are responding to with the resilience that Australians always have in these scenarios. I thank any person who is part of a surging army of volunteers that are taking care of strangers or the neighbours that are taking care of each other. I love seeing the images of people in high pubs that are a little higher in the ground, and even with water lapping at their ankles, they're still serving the beers and cooking up the sausages, trying to make sure the people who are taking care of everyone else is fed and appropriately hydrated. But this is the situation. There are 6 evacuation centres up and down the areas most affected. 400 people are in them right now. Now, the rain, well, as we know, the best part of a metre, in fact, 1.2 metres of rain has fallen the past 24 hours in parts of this area, which means that while the rain may subside from the intensity of the past couple of days, the rain that's a little uphill, a little further in, is going to start heading your way, which means floodwaters can continue to rise. So please, even if you're an old-timer who's seen it all before, please leave when they tell you to. I get it. You would prefer to be in a scenario where there's an overreaction than you having to wait to the very last minute to be pulled to safety in a dinghy where no one knows what's underneath it, or being pulled off your roof after a long time by a helicopter. Our mates in Charters Towers. I love Charters Towers, beautiful country town, hour, 90 minutes in from Townsville. Shout out to Steve and everyone, particularly at the drive-in. You know how much I love that place. Well, drinking water is disrupted as a result of things that are happening here. So people are being told, please boil water if you can, bottle it, but do not drink the water as it currently is. So just an example where our focus might be, say, on the bigger city. There's stuff that's happening in towns and even further out on farms all over the place. Here are some of the people having to deal with it. I make this the lead story tonight because it is the most important thing in the world to these people and those of us in Australia who love them.
Jump out, mate! Jump out!
The windows!
Jump!
Frightening, and then moments where people are taking care of each other. If there aren't people around, then the capacity for you to be taken care of. That's how serious it is. I get it. You've seen it before. It goes high, it goes low, this year, that year, all the rest of it, right? I get that these days there are more warnings and more warning sirens screaming on your radio, and it might sometimes feel like overkill, but I'm telling you, if they tell you to move, please move. If you've got family that won't move, please convince them to move, because we love them and we want them to be around, okay? I prefer overreaction than an under-preparedness here. As for the officials, here's the latest they're telling us.
We have not seen the peak of that flood. It is expected in the early hours of tomorrow. So areas of that low-lying black zone area are still expected to receive inundation.
Part of the job of every Premier, but in particular the Queensland Premier, is to respond to natural disasters like this. For David Crucifulli, it is his first as Premier.
We're urging residents to please listen to the advice and stay in contact with communications. Please don't go back to those homes, because the modelling is showing that the water could continue to rise. It's been an amazingly monsoonal event.
As always, 24/7 Sky News has our website with the latest information, rolling blogs, all the rest of it, but also we have our weather channel. Here's a little explanation about where we are and where we go in the next 24 hours.
Multiple locations receiving a month's worth of rain in one day. Others, like Mount Sophia, have seen more than a metre of rain in the past week. The Herbert River is now finally falling. The concern moving forward, though, for a number of these rivers, especially the Ross River, which feeds into suburban Townsville, is that there are significant downpours forecast at a minimum across both Tuesday and Wednesday.
Wild stuff. Be safe. Please be safe. Take care of everyone, no matter whether you've been through it for your first time or this is your 100th time of doing it, because that's part of life in North Queensland. Again, everyone in the Grampians in Victoria, I'm aware of the bushfire situation, and all of what I've just said applies to you too, even though the danger is of a completely different element. But strength and love to everyone dealing with it, and thank you to everyone who is helping.